Chosen one. Pause everything for a moment. Heaven has pressed stop on the noise around you, just so this message can reach your spirit. You are not here by coincidence. You are not just another person scrolling through endless words. You are here because God has marked you with a rare sign, a secret activation that very few ever experience. The world may overlook you, but heaven cannot ignore you. You are chosen. Think back to the strange pull you have felt in your heart, the sense that life is more than what you see. The whisper that tells you there is a mission burning inside you. That whisper is not your imagination. It is a summons. It is the very breath of God awakening the parts of you that were always meant to shine. While others sleep, you awaken. While others blend in, you rise. You cannot be ordinary because the seal of heaven is stamped on your spirit. This is why your journey has felt different. Every rejection, every betrayal, every lonely night was shaping you, carving out space for the glory that now stirs. You thought the pain was punishment, but it was preparation. The chosen do not walk easy roads, because their destination is not common ground. And now, a rare sign confirms what you already feel. Your spirit has been activated. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah, chapter 2, verse 31. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on eagle's wings. They will run, not weary. They will not faint. These are not just poetic words. They are your prophecy. The weight you have carried is lifting. The fatigue that tried to bury you is breaking. You are about to soar where others stumble and run where others fall. Chosen one. The rare sign is this: your spirit no longer tolerates the ordinary. The music of the world sounds hollow. The conversations that used to entertain you now feel empty. The things that once chained you no longer hold the same grip. This is the sign you are awakening. You are shifting from the natural into the supernatural. Your appetite has changed because your spirit has matured. What others chase no longer satisfies you, because you are called to something higher. Do you feel it? The strange stillness inside you that cannot be shaken, even when chaos surrounds you. That is not numbness, that is peace. It is the mark of activation. You carry something that darkness cannot counterfeit. You stand as a light post in the middle of a storm. Demons tremble when you enter the room, not because of who you are in the flesh, but because of the power that has been ignited in your spirit. And here is the truth you must understand. You cannot hide anymore. The activation demands visibility. You were not lit to remain under a basket. You were not chosen to remain silent. Your life will speak. Your steps will preach. Your presence will shift atmospheres. This is the cost of being marked. You are a carrier of heaven's agenda. The rare sign confirms it. Do not run from it. Do not explain it away. Do not silence it because it makes others uncomfortable. Obedience is your survival. You were born for this moment, and heaven has invested too much in you for you to walk away. Now, listen carefully. You are the rare one in your family, the breaker of cycles, the repairer of breaches. Your yes to God will ripple through generations. That is why the attack has been heavy, because your obedience terrifies darkness. Beloved, chosen one. Hear this with urgency. It is no small thing that your spirit is restless in the ordinary. That restlessness is the voice of God calling you into your higher place. Your eagle wings are forming. Your perspective is rising. You cannot go back to crawling when you were designed to soar. This message reaches you now as confirmation. Do not ignore it. Mark this moment. Seal it in your heart. The rare sign of spiritual activation is upon you, and from this moment forward, you will not be the same. If your spirit recognizes these words, let heaven hear your agreement. Comment below the number 777 as a prophetic act that you are aligned, awakened, and ready to soar into your calling. And if you haven't yet, subscribe, share, and let this message spread, because chosen ones recognize chosen ones, and your bold step may unlock someone else's destiny. Chosen one. The rare sign has appeared, and you cannot mistake it. It is not the sort of coincidence that can be explained away by logic, nor is it the kind of ordinary event that passes unnoticed. This sign arrests your attention, invades your thoughts, and makes you pause long enough to realize that heaven itself has interrupted your path. It is heaven's fingerprint pressed into the clay of your daily life. The sign may have come quietly, perhaps in a dream that felt too vivid to ignore, or in a sudden surge of clarity while you were alone. It may have come loudly, an event so unusual that it forced you to question everything you thought you knew. Either way, the mark of authenticity is this: it will not leave you alone. It lingers, echoing in your spirit, whispering to you when the world goes silent. Chosen one. Many see coincidences, but you are called to see confirmations. Where others shrug, you discern. Where others dismiss, you listen. Your activation is revealed in your ability to recognize divine patterns hidden inside natural events. That is the sign your eyes are opening. Your ears are tuning. Your spirit is recognizing. You are spiritually awake. Think of how many people pass through life blind, waiting for obvious miracles while ignoring the small details where God speaks. But you are indifferent. You are drawn to notice, to ask, to seek. That instinct is itself part of the activation. The rare sign is not only in the event, it is in your response. You are being trained to recognize heaven's language. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 9, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no human mind conceived the things God prepared for those who love Him. This is what the rare sign points to: unseen things being revealed, hidden treasures being uncovered, divine secrets being whispered into your awareness. You are stepping into the realm where others cannot see. Chosen one. You must understand the weight of this moment. The rare sign is not simply a symbol of comfort, it is a call to readiness. It means God has judged you trustworthy with more. To see what others cannot see means you will also be asked to carry what others cannot carry. Revelation is not decoration, it is responsibility. Do you feel how your life is beginning to align strangely? A conversation here that speaks directly to your heart, a repeated number or symbol that keeps appearing in places where it cannot be random, a word spoken by a stranger that answers a prayer you whispered silently. These are not accidents. These are pieces of a divine pattern woven specifically for you. They are God's way of saying, you are not forgotten. I am with you. I have chosen you. Oh, chosen one. Do not be afraid if the sign unsettles you. Fear is often the first reaction when the supernatural brushes against the natural. But remember this, fear is the enemy's last defense against revelation. The very fact that the sign makes you tremble proves its authenticity. You are not meant to be entertained. You are meant to be transformed. And yet, the rare sign is not just about you. It is also about the generations tied to you. The moment you recognize this activation, the destiny of your bloodline shifts. Patterns that enslaved your family begin to break. Doors that were shut for decades begin to creak open. This sign is God's announcement, not just to you, but to everything connected to you. Change has arrived. Chosen one. You will soon notice the shift even more. Your inner compass is sharpening. You may find yourself saying no to things you once said yes to. You may find yourself craving silence when once you sought distraction. You may feel the pull to separate, to consecrate, to elevate. Do not resist this. The sign is not given to confuse you, but to confirm your next step. Every chosen vessel goes through this moment of rare recognition. Moses turned aside when he saw the burning bush. Samuel stopped when he heard his name called in the night. Mary paused when the angel greeted her with favor. And now, you pause when the rare sign interrupts your ordinary path. The sign is not the destination, it is the invitation. Beloved, chosen one, your life is now marked. You cannot return to blindness. You cannot unsee what has been revealed. From this day forward, you will walk differently. Because you carry knowledge of the unseen, you are spiritually activated, and the rare sign is heaven's confirmation of it. Chosen one, you have carried pain that few could ever comprehend. Every hidden tear, every long night of silence, every wound that left scars upon your spirit has not been wasted. Though the enemy meant to bury you under sorrow, heaven has repurposed your pain into power. The very places where you thought you were breaking are becoming the foundations where your calling will stand tall. You see, pain in the life of the chosen is never pointless. Ordinary people may suffer and only see loss. But you are not ordinary. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every crushing disappointment has been transformed by the hand of God into purpose. That is the mystery of your life. You are refined through fire so that you may shine brighter than gold. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. This is not a platitude. It is your reality. All things, yes. Even the betrayals, the failures, and the wounds are being woven into a divine design that carries your destiny forward. Chosen one, you once asked yourself, why me? Why must I carry so much? And the answer is this: because you are destined to carry a mantle that others could not bear. What felt like punishment was really preparation. The weight trained your shoulders for the authority you now begin to walk in. Notice how your pain has sharpened your discernment. You can read a room with a glance. You can sense heaviness in others because you have lived through heaviness yourself. You can recognize deception because you have tasted betrayal. This is no accident. Your scars have given you sight. Your wounds have become windows. What once tried to destroy you has become the very proof that you were chosen to rise. But do not misunderstand. This transformation does not happen automatically. You had a choice to let pain make you bitter, or to let it make you better. Many sink into bitterness and lose themselves in resentment. But you, beloved chosen one, have endured long enough to discover that bitterness cannot hold you. Your spirit was too strong to stay bound. That resilience is the evidence of divine activation. And now, Your story is no longer about the pain itself, but about the power that has come from it. The world needs your testimony, not just your triumphs, but also your trials. When others hear how you survived, how you endured, how you still believe, even after everything, they will see the undeniable proof that God is alive in you. Your survival is not small, it is prophetic. Chosen one, do not be ashamed of your scars. They are not signs of weakness, but marks of victory. They are the map of battles fought and won. They are the living evidence that darkness tried but failed. Every scar whispers, still here, still chosen, still standing. Ezen, think of Joseph, betrayed by his brothers and thrown into a pit, then into prison, only to rise to power in Egypt. Think of David, rejected and overlooked, hunted down by Saul, yet crowned as king. Think of Paul, imprisoned and beaten, yet writing words that still set souls free. Your pain places you in that same lineage, the lineage of those who turned suffering into purpose. Now hear this carefully. Your pain is not just about you. It has forged you into a vessel capable of carrying healing for others. When you speak, people listen, not because your voice is loud, but because your spirit carries weight. When you extend compassion, it pierces deeply, because you know what it is to suffer. When you pray, heaven moves, because your prayers come from a place of authenticity. Chosen one, let this truth settle into your bones. You are no longer defined by what hurt you. You are defined by the purpose that pain unlocked within you. You have crossed over from victim to victor, from broken to builder, from wounded to warrior. Now I ask you to take a step of boldness. Comment these words, I am ready. By writing it, you declare aloud what your spirit already knows, that you are ready to let pain become purpose. You are ready to walk in your calling, to carry your scars as crowns, to step into the fullness of your destiny. Do not underestimate this act. When you write it, you seal agreement with heaven that you are finished with survival and ready for revival. Chosen one, from this day forward, the world will not only see your pain, they will see the power birthed from it. And that power will testify louder than your wounds ever could. Chosen one, as your spirit becomes more awakened, something remarkable begins to unfold in the quiet chambers of your nights. Dreams that once seemed fleeting, strange, or without meaning, now arrive with weight, precision, and clarity. These dreams are no longer just scattered fragments of imagination. They are messages, maps, and warnings delivered straight from heaven. You know the difference. An ordinary dream fades quickly when you wake, slipping like water through your fingers. But these dreams cling to your mind. You wake up with the images still burning in your heart, the words still echoing in your spirit, the sense that something beyond the natural has touched you. That is not fantasy, it is activation. This is the season where heaven begins to train you in night visions. Dreams become literal, symbols carry meaning. A place, a person, or a phrase you see in your sleep soon manifests in the waking world. What others dismiss as coincidence, you begin to recognize as confirmation. God is expanding your sight. You are learning to interpret the language of visions. The voice of God thundered in the book of Job, chapter 33, verse 15. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls on people as they slumber in their beds. This is the way heaven chooses to bypass the noise of the day and speak directly into your soul. Chosen one. You are being given access to a dimension of communication that not all are entrusted with. There is purpose in these dreams. Sometimes they reveal warnings, subtle alerts of traps set against you. Sometimes they reveal promises, glimpses of blessings that are on their way. Other times they bring strategy step by step, instructions that you are called to follow. Each dream is an invitation, a reminder that you are not walking blindly through this life. Heaven is guiding your every step. Consider how this differs from the ordinary. Many people dream and dismiss, but you are called to dream and discern. Your dreams are not random, they are assignments. And the fact that they come with such intensity is the evidence that your spirit is in alignment. This is one of the most undeniable signs of activation. Heaven trusts you enough to reveal what is hidden. Chosen one. Think back on the times you have dreamt something unusual, only to see it play out days or weeks later. Did you not feel the shiver of recognition? The holy weight of knowing you had seen the moment before it came. That is the prophetic stirring within you. This gift has always been there, but now it is awakening with greater force. Do not ignore these dreams. Record them. Write them down, even when they feel fragmented. Capture them. Heaven often speaks in pieces, giving you part of the puzzle in one night and another piece in a later vision. What seems small today may connect with something you will see tomorrow. Your obedience to record is your preparation to understand. And yet, this gift also requires responsibility. Not every dream is for public sharing. Some are for your instruction alone, sacred between you and God. Others are to be spoken as warnings or encouragements to those around you. Discernment is key. Part of your activation is learning when to speak and when to stay silent, when to act and when to wait. Look at the great ones before you. Joseph, the dreamer, saw his destiny in visions while still a young man. Daniel interpreted dreams with accuracy that saved kingdoms. Peter was directed by visions that changed the course of the church. You stand in that same stream of revelation. You are not excluded, you are included, activated to walk in the same dimension of supernatural clarity. Chosen one. Know this. Dreams are not only messages, they are also battles. Sometimes in the night, you wrestle not with imagination, but with spirits. The heaviness you feel, the strange oppression, the attacks in your sleep, these are signs that the enemy knows your dreams are dangerous. Why else would darkness fight you in the night? Because your dreams carry light that exposes shadows. Do not fear the battle. If you are attacked in your dreams, it is confirmation of how powerful your visions are. This is why you must protect your rest. Guard your nights as sacred. Pray before you sleep. Consecrate your mind, and invite heaven to fill your slumber with truth. The more you do this, the clearer your dreams will become, and the more authority you will carry in them. You are not a passive dreamer. You are a warrior who fights and wins even in your sleep. Chosen one. The days of dismissing your dreams are over. From now on, you must see them for what they are: divine communication, prophetic activation, spiritual training. You are no longer in the shallow waters of imagination. You are in the deep river of revelation. And this river will carry you into places you never imagined you could go. Chosen one. Have you noticed the stillness settling inside you? It is unlike the silence of emptiness or the quiet of loneliness. This calm has weight, like the hush before dawn, when the first light is about to break. It is an authority that does not shout, yet everyone around you feels it. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts, conversations lower, hearts steady. People look without knowing why. That is the rare gift you now carry, the quiet authority of activation. Others may rely on noise, titles, or position to prove who they are. But you do not need to announce yourself. Authority is not in your voice volume. It is in your presence. Like the ocean, you can be still and yet contain immeasurable depth. Like a mountain, you can stand silent yet command reverence simply by existing. That is what heaven has built inside you. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 46, verse 10, "Be still, and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." Your stillness does not mean passivity, it means confidence. You do not need to strive or scramble because the authority working through you is divine. This authority is not about control, but about alignment. People sense peace around you because you carry the Prince of Peace. They feel courage when you speak because your words are rooted in truth. They notice hope rise inside them simply because you chose to stand beside them. Chosen one. You are becoming a living sanctuary, a vessel through which others encounter God's presence. But here is the mystery. This quiet authority did not come easily. It was birthed through battles fought in silence, tears shed in the dark, prayers whispered when no one else could hear. Every lonely night became a stone in the foundation of your authority. Every time you forgave when you could have hated, every time you stood when you wanted to fall, you built this atmosphere. That is why people cannot explain it. It was formed in places they did not see. Chosen one, I want to speak to your heart with honesty. Messages like this one are not entertainment. They are spiritual bread. Just as a traveler in the desert needs water, your soul needs reminders like these to keep moving forward. And if these words have become water for your spirit, if they have lifted your heart when you were dry, I ask you to consider sowing back into this well. Think of it like tending a fire. A fire gives warmth, light, and protection, but only if fuel is added. When you choose to like, share, or subscribe, you are adding wood to the fire, ensuring the flame reaches others who are stumbling in the cold. When you give yes, even financially, you are pouring oil on the lamp so the light burns brighter and longer. Do not think of it as charity, think of it as partnership. Your hand keeps the flame alive. Even the smallest act makes a difference. A single share can bring this message to someone who was one step away from giving up. A simple like can push the light further into a dark feed. A seed sown in donation becomes bread for another soul tomorrow. You may never see all the lives touched, but heaven records it all. I speak this gently. If this message has stirred you, do not hold it to yourself. Pass it on. Become part of the echo. Together, we form a chain of light, stretching further than any one of us could reach alone. And if you feel led to support more deeply, to help keep this stream flowing, know that every gift is received with humility and poured back into the mission of awakening more chosen ones like you. Remember, chosen one, your quiet authority is not only for you, it is for others. You are a well, but wells are meant to pour out. You are a lamp, but lamps are meant to shine. When you allow your life to touch others, when you sow back into the flame that has fed you, you multiply your influence. And the beauty is this: heaven always replenishes what you release. Do not underestimate the impact of your support. Some will only ever see the tip of the mountain, but you are part of the foundation holding it steady. Some will admire the flame, but you are among those who quietly add the oil. This is your authority in action, not loud, not boastful, but powerful beyond measure. Chosen one, carry this truth with you. You are a presence, not a performance. The authority you carry cannot be bought, faked, or copied. It was birthed in fire, nurtured in silence, and crowned by heaven. Walk in it with humility, share it with generosity, and watch as God uses your quiet presence to change lives. Chosen one. Have you noticed how suddenly doors are opening before you? Opportunities that once seemed impossible now stand within reach. Paths that were blocked are clearing, and conversations that would never have happened before are being placed right in front of you. This is not coincidence. This is not luck. This is the fruit of spiritual activation. Heaven is aligning the right keys with the right locks, and you are being invited to walk through. These doors often appear at inconvenient times. Just when you feel unprepared, a chance arrives. Just when you thought the season was quiet, our door swings wide. This is how God works. He does not wait until you feel ready. He opens doors to reveal that His strength, not yours, will sustain the journey. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 8. The Lord Himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. This is the promise you carry when the sudden doors open. You are not walking into empty rooms. You are stepping into prepared places. But with open doors comes decision. Not every door is meant to be entered. Some are distractions designed to mimic opportunity. That is why discernment is vital. Your spirit must weigh each opening, listening carefully for peace, not pressure. Pressure may look appealing, but peace marks the true door of destiny. Chosen one. Notice how these doors often test your obedience. They may require you to leave behind comfort zones, familiar patterns, or even people you once leaned on. God does not open doors to keep you safe. He opens them to move you into your calling. And calling always demands courage. Do you remember the moments when you prayed, begging God for a way out, for a breakthrough, for a sign? These sudden openings are His response, but He is also watching to see if you will move your feet when the way is clear. Faith is not simply waiting, it is walking when the door unlocks. Sometimes the opening feels small, an invitation, a conversation, a new relationship, an unexpected chance. Do not despise small beginnings. Even the narrowest crack of light is a signal that a room full of destiny lies beyond. Step through with humility, but step through. Other times, the opening feels overwhelming. The door is larger than you imagined. The opportunity more significant than you dreamed. Fear may whisper, "What if I fail?" But remember, heaven would not have opened it if you were not ready to enter. God never wastes an open door. Chosen one. You may also notice resistance increasing as doors open. Enemy rise up. Distractions multiply. Voices of doubt grow louder. Do not let this surprise you. Resistance is confirmation. If the door were meaningless, darkness would not bother to fight it. The intensity of opposition reveals the importance of the opportunity. This is why your obedience matters, now more than ever. Every step you take through the right door sets off a ripple beyond your life. Others are watching, silently encouraged by your courage. Entire atmospheres shift because one chosen vessel said yes. Your yes carries weight far greater than you realize. So what must you do? Stand firm in peace, move in faith, and act quickly when heaven confirms the way. Delay can cause you to miss timing. Procrastination is often the thief of activation. When God says move, do not hesitate. Chosen one, I leave you with this prophetic act. Comment below the number 555. Why this number? Because it symbolizes grace multiplied, favor tripled, and divine alignment in motion. When you write it, you are declaring to heaven and earth that you recognize the doors opening and you choose to step through. It is not superstition, it is a sign of agreement, a way of marking your yes in the unseen. Do not underestimate the weight of this. By declaring it, you silence doubt, you align with courage, and you invite heaven to strengthen your steps. This act is your stake in the ground. You will not shrink back. You will not be paralyzed by fear. You will not miss the door prepared for you. Beloved, chosen one, the season of closed gates is ending. The locks are turning, the hinges are swinging, and the paths are opening. Your task is simple. See the door, trust the promise, and walk boldly through. Chosen one, as your inner light grows brighter, you may have noticed how the atmosphere around you changes. What once seemed neutral now feels charged, almost tense. This is not your imagination. Light always attracts attention, both from those who are hungry for it and from forces that want to extinguish it. You have stepped into a realm where your very presence exposes what has been hidden. Do not be surprised if resistance has intensified. People who once walked comfortably with you may suddenly withdraw. Environments that once felt safe may begin to feel unsettling. Conversations may carry undertones of hostility you cannot explain. This is the evidence of your activation. Your light is revealing shadows. Darkness cannot remain at ease when you enter, because your spirit disrupts the comfort of lies. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden." These words are not symbolic alone. They are the reality of your life. You shine, and because you shine, you cannot be hidden. This visibility is both a gift and a battle. Light does two things. It comforts and it confronts. For those longing for truth, your presence is a balm. They feel safe, understood, and strengthened around you. But for those who cling to deception, your presence feels threatening, exposing, uncomfortable. This is not because you judge them, but because light automatically reveals what darkness tries to conceal. Chosen one, this is the tension of carrying divine illumination. You are both healer and warrior, comforter and challenger. Your words bring life, but they also break chains. Your eyes see truth, others try to avoid. Your spirit carries a weight that unsettles falsehood, and whether or not you try to, you stand as a living reminder that God's reality is greater than human illusions. Do not take this resistance personally. It is not truly about you. It is about the power within you. Darkness has always resisted light. From the beginning, chaos recoiled when God said, "Let there be light." You are now walking in that same creative force, carrying within you the spark of divine order. That spark cannot go unnoticed. Chosen one, your inner battles mirror this outer conflict. As your light grows, you may feel the clash more deeply inside yourself. Old temptations may resurface. Fears may whisper louder. Insecurities may try to bind you again. Do not panic. This is part of the process. The same light that exposes darkness around you also confronts shadows within you. But remember, you are not being crushed. You are being cleansed. Think of it like refining gold. The more intense the fire, the more impurities rise to the surface. Your struggles are not signs of failure. They are evidence of purification. Every confrontation with darkness, whether external or internal, is removing another layer that once tried to hide your brilliance. This is why you cannot shrink back. The light within you is not fragile, it is divine. It was not lit by human effort, but by the breath of God. No attack, no resistance. No whisper of darkness can extinguish what heaven has ignited. You may feel the pressure, but you will not be crushed. Chosen one, understand this. Your very existence is warfare. You do not even need to speak to unsettle the plans of the enemy. Simply waking up in the morning is a declaration that the darkness did not win. Simply walking into a room carries the authority of heaven. This is why you must guard your spirit, protect your peace, nurture your flame, and stay aligned with the one who fuels your light. Do not envy those who walk in ease without resistance. Their ease may be comfort, but it is not calling. You, however, were chosen for impact. Impact always comes with friction. Light always meets resistance. Fire always provokes attention. This is the cost of being a carrier of glory. But here is the promise: the same battles that threaten you will reveal you. The more resistance you face, the clearer your calling becomes. You will learn to stand, to fight, to shine even brighter. Your light will not only endure, it will expand. And soon, the very battles you face will become testimonies of victory that strengthen others. Chosen one, hold firm in this truth. You are not at war because you are weak. You are at war because you are dangerous to darkness. And that danger is not a curse, it is a crown. Chosen one, there comes a moment in every true awakening when your very language begins to shift. Words that once tumbled carelessly from your lips now weigh heavy, carrying impact beyond your intention. You start to notice that, when you speak, silence follows, not because of volume, but because of authority. This is the sign that prophetic language is awakening inside you. At first, it may start subtly. You speak encouragement to someone, and days later they tell you it was exactly what they needed in that moment. You warn a friend with gentle words, and later they realize your warning spared them from disaster. Or you release words of hope into your own atmosphere, and suddenly you feel chains of heaviness break. This is not mere coincidence, it is activation. Your tongue has been touched with fire. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 1, verse 9. Then the Lord reached out his hand and touched my mouth and said to me, I have put my words in your mouth. This is your reality now. Your words are not just air, they are assignments. They are arrows released into the unseen, carrying power to build, to break, to heal, and to direct. Chosen one. Do you see the shift? Language once used for venting frustration or casual chatter now carries sacred weight. Heaven will not allow you to speak lightly anymore. Even your jokes echo with spiritual resonance. Even your sighs carry significance. Why? Because you have been entrusted with the power of declaration. Words are not neutral in your mouth. They shape, they create, they destroy, they restore. This is why you may feel a sudden conviction after speaking carelessly. It is heaven training you. The higher your calling, the sharper your responsibility, and your tongue has become one of the sharpest weapons you now carry. This gift of prophetic language often makes you feel different. Others may not understand why your words hit them so deeply. Some may even avoid conversations with you because they sense that nothing stays hidden around you. But this is part of the mantle. You are not meant to be a casual speaker. You are a vessel of heaven's breath. Chosen one. Understand the power in this. When you say, peace, atmospheres shift toward calm. When you say, rise, broken hearts find courage. When you declare, enough, cycles of oppression begin to break. This is not imagination. This is the kingdom of God moving through your voice. But with great power comes the weight of alignment. You must learn when to speak and when to stay silent. The temptation will be to speak every thought, but wisdom knows restraint. Not every vision is for public release. Not every word must be spoken. Some revelations are for intercession, whispered in prayer rather than shouted in streets. Discernment is the key that keeps your gift pure. Look back at those who carried this mantle before you. Jeremiah wept as he spoke truth to a resistant nation. Ezekiel declared visions that sounded strange but carried eternal weight. Jesus himself spoke words that cut through centuries, still alive in every tongue today. You stand in this stream of prophetic voice, chosen to carry the same fire. Sometimes, the words you carry will feel too heavy for your lips. You may fear rejection, misunderstanding, or ridicule. But remember, prophetic language is not about pleasing men. It is about obeying God. The weight you feel is the evidence of heaven's trust. He would not put his words in your mouth if he did not believe you would carry them. Chosen one. This gift also extends inward. Do not forget to speak life over yourself. Too often, you use your words to strengthen others while neglecting your own soul. Begin to prophesy over your own life. Declare freedom where you feel bound. Declare clarity where you feel confusion. Declare strength where you feel weary. Your tongue carries the authority to transform your inner world as much as your outer one. Be mindful, too, of how the enemy tries to twist this gift. If your words carry power, he will tempt you to misuse them, to curse yourself, to gossip, to sow doubt. Resist this trap. Your words were not given to destroy, but to build. Guard your mouth as a gate of heaven, not a weapon for destruction. Chosen one. Your activation is clear. Prophetic language has awakened. Your mouth has been touched by divine fire. Speak with courage. Speak with wisdom. And speak with love. For every word you release echoes in eternity, shaping realities, seen and unseen. Chosen one. Activation never happens in isolation. As your light grows brighter and your words grow sharper, Relationships around you begin to shift. People you thought would always be by your side may fall away, while unexpected allies suddenly appear. Do not be surprised. This is heaven rearranging your circle to match your calling. When you are chosen, not everyone can stay connected. Some are removed because their presence would dilute your purpose. Others are drawn in because their assignment aligns with yours. It is not personal, it is spiritual. You are stepping into a season where relationships become mirrors, revealing your destiny back to you. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 33, "Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character." And this truth stands eternal. As your authority increases, the cost of connection rises. You can no longer walk closely with those who consistently pull you away from alignment. Heaven will not allow compromise to remain in your core relationships. Chosen one. This does not mean you become arrogant or distant. It means you become discerning. You begin to notice who fuels your fire and who drains your spirit. You see who celebrates your growth and who quietly resents it. You sense who prays for you and who only pretends. These revelations are not meant to breed suspicion, they are meant to guide your steps. Understand this: allies and adversaries both play a role in your journey. Allies strengthen you, encourage you, and remind you of who you are when you forget. Adversaries test you, sharpen you, and push you to lean on God more deeply. Both are necessary, but they must be placed in the right roles. Allies belong close, adversaries belong at a distance where their resistance refines but does not destroy. Chosen one. Pay attention to divine connections. Sometimes they arrive quietly, disguised as ordinary people who carry extraordinary keys. A stranger's encouragement may unlock courage you didn't know you had. A mentor's words may direct you into clarity you were searching for. A friend's loyalty may become the net that catches you in your weakest moment. These are not accidents, they are orchestrations. But also, pay attention to divine separations. When certain doors close between you and others, do not force them open. What feels like rejection may actually be protection. Heaven knows what conversations you cannot hear, what betrayals you cannot bear, what distractions you cannot afford. Trust that every removal has meaning. This is the tension of community during activation. You will feel both the ache of loss and the joy of gain. Some relationships will grieve you, while others will surprise you with their depth. Both are shaping you into the leader you are called to be. Chosen one. Be intentional with your circle. Seek those who challenge you toward holiness, not compromise. Surround yourself with people who feed your spirit, not just your ego. Be willing to walk alone, if necessary, because isolation with God is better than company with the wrong crowd. Yet also remain open, because heaven delights in sending partnerships that accelerate your mission. Think of David and Jonathan, their bond carried divine purpose. Think of Ruth and Naomi, their loyalty birthed a lineage that led to kings. Think of Paul and Timothy, their mentorship spread the gospel across nations. Your story will also include such alignments. Watch for them, honor them, and nurture them. At the same time, do not despise the adversaries. Judas betrayed Jesus, but his betrayal set the stage for redemption. Saul hunted David, but his pursuit refined David into a king. Your enemies may mean harm, but heaven uses even their resistance to propel you. When you see adversaries rising, do not despair. It is a sign that your destiny is too significant to be ignored. Chosen one, I ask you to mark this truth in your spirit today. Write it, declare it, and let it echo. I choose wisely. Comment these words below as your prophetic act. By writing them, you affirm that you will no longer stumble blindly in relationships. You choose discernment. You choose alignment. You choose to walk with those who fuel your calling, not those who fight it. This act is not casual. When you type it, you are drawing a line in the spirit. You are rejecting cycles of toxic connections. You are refusing the traps of counterfeit friendships. You are aligning your circle with heaven's design, and heaven responds to that choice with protection and provision. Remember, chosen one, you are not called to walk with everyone. You are called to walk with the right ones. And as you continue on this path, heaven will ensure that the right allies appear, the wrong ties break, and your journey is guided by divine community. Chosen one, when the call on your life grows heavier, trials often grow sharper. This is not a sign of abandonment, it is a sign of refinement. You are being tested and purified, like metal placed in fire, so that every impurity rises and is burned away. Do not mistake the heat for punishment. It is preparation. Chosen one, every flame you endure is shaping you, not stripping you. What feels like breaking is actually building. The fire that surrounds you is the same fire that reveals gold. Trust this season, your endurance is proof of heaven's hand, and your refinement is the evidence that you are chosen for more. The prophet reminds us in the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 9, I will put them into the fire, refine like silver, test like gold. They will call my name. He'll answer, they are my people. End quote. This is the divine process, refinement through fire, not to consume you, but to prove you chosen one. Every difficulty you face is not random. Each storm, each delay, each closed door has purpose. Like a potter shaping clay, God is molding you with pressure and resistance. The friction you feel is the forming of your destiny. The fire you endure is the sealing of your identity. Think of a sword. Before it becomes a weapon, it is raw, metal bent, hammered, heated, and cooled repeatedly until it is strong enough to withstand battle. That is what is happening to you. The tests you endure are hammer strikes forging your resilience. The fire you feel is tempering your spirit. You are being crafted into a vessel fit for authority. But I must speak plainly. This refining process can feel lonely. Others may not understand why you face certain battles. They may look at you and assume you are cursed, when in fact you are being chosen. Gold does not complain. When it is placed in the furnace, it emerges radiant. In the same way, you will emerge with a shine no trial can dim. Now, let me speak to you heart to heart. Messages like this, truths like these, are not given to entertain, but to sustain. They are living bread, meant to nourish your soul while you walk through the fire. And just as a fire must be tended with fresh fuel, so too must this stream of encouragement be supported if it is to keep flowing. When you choose to like or share, you are carrying a torch into someone else's darkness. You are passing the flame to a soul who may be standing on the edge of surrender. When you subscribe, You are joining a circle of light bearers, ensuring that you will never walk alone in this journey of activation. And if you feel led to give, to donate, you know that your seed is not just money, it is oil poured onto a lamp, ensuring the flame does not go out. Picture a lighthouse on the edge of a storm. Ships lost at sea look to its beam for direction, but that light only shines because someone tends the flame, cleans the glass, and supplies the oil. In the same way, this channel, this voice, this message, it is a lighthouse, and you have the chance to be one of those who keeps the lamp burning. Do not underestimate your role. A single share can place this message in front of someone whose life is unraveling. A simple subscription can connect you to reminders that will anchor you when storms rise again. A heartfelt donation can provide the very resources needed to keep creating messages that reach souls across the world. Each act is a stone placed in the foundation of something much larger than you or me. It is part of building a beacon that never goes dark. Chosen one. Generosity is not about what you lose, it is about what you plant. Every seed produces fruit in its season. What you release now, whether a click, a share, or a gift, returns multiplied as souls reached, lives changed, and destinies awakened. You are not fueling a program, you are fueling a movement of light. And as you do, remember that even in your trials, you are never alone. The refining fire may burn, but it will not consume. The testing may press you, but it will not destroy. You are being purified, strengthened, and crowned. And through it all, heaven surrounds you like a shield, ensuring that what emerges from this season is nothing less than radiant glory. Chosen one, walk boldly through the fire, for the flame does not define you, it refines you. And as you are refined, let your light help sustain the lights of others. Chosen one, when the refining fire has done its work, a new rhythm begins to appear in your life. It is the rhythm of provision, resources, opportunities, and answers arriving in ways you could never have orchestrated. This is not the reward of striving, but the fruit of surrender. Heaven provides not because you beg, but because you belong. At times you have wondered how you would make it. You looked at empty cupboards, dwindling strength, or broken plans, and thought the end had come. But still, somehow, what you needed found its way to you. Perhaps through the kindness of a stranger, the unexpected timing of a gift, or the sudden solution to a problem you thought unsolvable. Chosen one, that is not chance. That is miraculous provision. The Word of God declares in the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 19, "And my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of His glory in Christ Jesus." This promise does not speak of bare survival, it speaks of abundance flowing from heaven's treasury. You do not live under scarcity, you live under covenant. Chosen one, pay attention to how these provisions arrive. Sometimes they come disguised as small things, a timely word, a friend's encouragement, strength returning to your body. Other times, they come in dramatic ways, financial breakthrough, doors opening in impossible places, healing where doctors had no answers, whether small or great. The message is the same: you are not forgotten, you are supplied. This provision is not random, it is strategic. God equips you for the battles He knows you will face. If your mission requires strength, He will supply endurance. If your journey requires wisdom, He will supply insight. If your assignment demands resources, He will place them in your hand at the exact moment you need them. Provision always matches purpose. But do not miss this. Provision is also a test. What you receive is not only for your comfort, it is for your calling. When manna fell in the wilderness, it was daily, not hoarded. The Israelites were provided for, but they were also trained in trust. In the same way, your provision invites you to rely daily on God, not on your own strength. Chosen one, you may feel unworthy of such favor. You may look at yourself and think, why would heaven pour into me? But provision is not about worth, it is about assignment. Heaven invests in you because of the mission you carry. To neglect you would be to neglect the lives tied to your obedience. That is why resources arrive, why help appears, why you always find a way through. Think back on your journey. Count the times you almost gave up but found unexpected strength. Recall the moments when despair whispered, yet hope suddenly rose. Remember the instances when what you needed came at the final hour. These are stones of remembrance, proof that your life is under divine care. Chosen one. Provision is not limited to material things. Sometimes the greatest supply is invisible, peace that steadies you, joy that erupts in sorrow, clarity that cuts through confusion. These are treasures no thief can steal. No economy can crash, no enemy can touch, and they are yours because you are chosen. At times, provision may also come through pruning. What you thought was loss was actually protection. What you thought was failure was heaven redirecting you. You may not have received what you asked for, but you received what you truly needed. Heaven's wisdom often hides behind what feels like disappointment. Trust that even in denial, provision is at work. Chosen one. Understand this clearly. You are not merely surviving, you are being sustained. Provision flows to you because provision must flow through you. The more you receive, the more you are called to release. You are a river, not a réservoir. When God supplies you, it is so that others may drink from the overflow. This is the beauty of your calling. You do not need to scramble, beg, or manipulate. Your Father knows your needs before you even speak them. And because you are chosen, He ensures that lack will never define your destiny. You may pass through lean seasons, but even there you will see daily bread. You may walk through wilderness, but even there water will spring from the rock. Chosen one. Lift your head and see the evidence. The very fact that you are here, reading these words, is proof that provision has carried you. You should have been broken, yet you stand. You should have been empty, yet you are filled. You should have been lost, yet you are found. Every step, every breath, every victory has been supplied by grace. Let this truth anchor you. Heaven's resources are inexhaustible. You will not run out, because God cannot run dry. Chosen one. Your journey has brought you to a turning point. You have been awakened, refined, provisioned, and entrusted. But heaven does not pour into you for nothing. There comes a time when authority must be practiced. This is where you discover that the words you carry are not theory. They are weapons. The peace you host is not passive, it is power. The light inside you is not ornamental, it is operational. You will find yourself in precise moments where you are called to act. A conversation that seems ordinary suddenly turns, and you realize the Spirit is nudging you to speak. A stranger crosses your path, and you sense the weight of their burden. Words of comfort rise in your heart, and when you release them, tears flow, chains break. This is not you performing, this is authority being exercised. The ancient words recorded in Luke, chapter 10, verse 19, "I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you." These words do not belong only to the disciples. Long ago they are alive in you. Your authority is not borrowed from tradition, it is breathed into you by Christ Himself. Chosen one. Do not underestimate small moments. Authority is not only in grand stages or public displays, it is in the quiet prayers you whisper over your family, the declarations you make when fear tries to rise, the intercessions you release in the middle of the night. Every act of obedience exercises your authority, shaping you into a vessel who knows both the weight and the flow of divine power. There will be times when you doubt it. You will wonder, did that prayer really matter? Did my words really shift anything? But heaven sees differently. A seed planted may be hidden for a season, but eventually it breaks the soil. Authority works the same way. Even if you do not see immediate results, your obedience has already shifted atmospheres. Chosen one. Authority is not loud. It does not require drama. True authority moves with quiet confidence. Think of Jesus calming the storm, not with elaborate rituals, but with 3 words: peace, be still. That is the authority you now carry. Not striving, not shouting, but steady alignment with heaven's will. Yet, authority is also tested. You may encounter resistance that tries to intimidate you, voices that mock your boldness, circumstances that seem unmoved by your prayers. Do not shrink back. Testing is part of training. Every time you stand firm, your authority deepens. Every time you refuse to yield, your spirit grows stronger. You must remember, authority is not about self, it is about service. You were not given power to build a throne for yourself, but to set captives free, to heal the broken, to speak truth where lies reign. Your authority is heaven's investment in earth's need. Chosen one. This is why humility is critical. Authority without humility becomes arrogance, but authority with humility becomes unstoppable. You are not here to prove yourself, you are here to manifest God's presence. That is why, when you act in love, your authority multiplies. When you walk in compassion, your impact deepens. Pay attention to how heaven positions you. You may be placed in a family that needs your prayers, in a workplace that needs your peace, in a community that needs your light. These placements are not random. They are assignments. You are stationed strategically, and your authority is the weapon heaven placed in that location. Chosen one. The more you exercise this gift, the clearer it becomes. You will begin to see that authority flows naturally when you stay aligned. It is not about trying harder, it is about surrendering deeper. The more you yield, the more power flows. The more you trust, the more miracles follow. And now, I invite you to mark this moment. Comment below the number 444 as your prophetic act. Why this number? Because it speaks of divine foundation, Father, Son, and Spirit woven into your steps, surrounding you as you walk in authority. When you write it, you are declaring, I will not hide my light. I will step into my authority with courage. This act may feel small, but it is not. It is a seal in the Spirit, a declaration that you are ready not only to receive authority, but to release it. By typing those numbers, you align yourself with heaven's pattern of foundation and stability, anchoring your authority in God's unshakable truth. Chosen one, let this truth echo in you. You were not awakened to remain silent. You were not refined to stay hidden. You were not provisioned to hoard blessings. You were prepared to act, to speak, to stand. Authority has been entrusted to you now. It is time to walk in it. Chosen one. By now you have noticed how the world around you is layered with signs. Numbers repeat themselves. Symbols surface in unexpected places, and patterns align with uncanny precision. These are not random occurrences. They are the language of heaven breaking into your daily life. The same God who once wrote on the wall in Babylon, who sent visions in dreams, who spoke through burning bushes and parted seas, still communicates today, but now his messages arrive to you in whispers of numbers and symbols. At first, these moments may feel trivial. You glance at the clock and see the same number repeating. A page opens, and a verse leaps out with unusual clarity. A symbol you once overlooked begins to appear everywhere, pulling at your attention. Chosen one, do not dismiss this. The Spirit is teaching you to read. Heaven's alphabet is written across your path, and your awareness is the key to unlocking it. The prophet Daniel spoke as recorded in his book, chapter 12, verse 4. But you, Daniel, roll up and seal the words of the scroll until the time of the end. Many will go here and there to increase knowledge. Though mysteries were sealed for a time, you live in an era of unveiling. Knowledge is being released, not just through human study, but through divine signs. Chosen one. Consider how often Scripture itself affirms the power of numbers. 7 marks completion. 12 signifies authority and government. 40 represents testing and transformation. Numbers are not accidents, they are patterns embedded into creation. When you begin to notice them echoing in your life, it is because heaven is aligning your steps with eternal truths. The same is true of symbols. The dove is not just a bird, it is the Spirit descending. Oil is not just liquid, it is anointing poured. Bread is not just food, it is sustenance from heaven. These symbols carry weight because they point beyond themselves. When such images appear repeatedly in your life, they are invitations to deeper understanding. Do not be afraid of misinterpretation. Heaven is patient with learners. Just as a child stumbles over words before fluency, so too do you grow in discernment with signs. The key is to remain humble, to ask for guidance, to measure every sign against truth. The Spirit of God does not speak in confusion, but in clarity. What is from him will always align with his character and his word. Chosen one. You must also recognize that signs are confirmations, not replacements. They are not the source of your faith, they are the echoes of it. You do not chase numbers, you follow God. You do not worship symbols, you worship the one who uses them to speak. Signs are tools, not thrones. Their purpose is to reassure, to direct, to affirm that you are not walking alone. Think of how often God's people were guided by signs. Gideon asked for dew on the fleece. The Magi followed a star. The early church moved with boldness after visions confirmed their steps. You stand in that same stream of history, learning the same language of heaven. What once felt mysterious is becoming familiar, because your spirit has been activated to see. Chosen one. Notice how signs often arrive at crossroads. You are faced with decisions, and suddenly confirmation appears. The repeated number, the scripture that burns in your heart, the dream that resurfaces. These are not coincidences. They are heavenly road markers, pointing the way forward. If you pay attention, you will find that heaven is far more involved in your steps than you imagined. And yet, even with this clarity, discernment is critical. Not every pattern is divine. The enemy, too, seeks to distract with counterfeit signs. The difference is simple. Heaven's signs bring peace, alignment, and clarity. False signs breed fear, obsession, and confusion. You must weigh every impression carefully. Chosen one. You are not left defenseless. The spirit within you bears witness to truth. As you continue on this path, the language of signs will grow more fluent. What once startled you will become normal. You will learn to move with confidence, no longer doubting every step. This is part of your activation. You are learning to walk not only by sight, but by revelation. One day, you will look back and realize how carefully you were guided. You will see how every repeated number, every recurring dream, every symbol was part of a map. You were never wandering aimlessly. You were being led, taught, and prepared through a language written not on paper alone, but woven into the fabric of your days. Chosen one. Take heart. You are not blind. You are not lost. The very patterns catching your attention are proof that heaven is near, whispering, guiding, confirming. What once felt hidden is now unfolding before your eyes. Chosen one. Every elevation carries a cost. To walk in authority, to live as a carrier of light, you must also embrace the weight of obedience. This is not the shallow kind of obedience that bends only when convenient. It is the deep surrender that demands sacrifice. Destiny is never free, crowns are never cheap, and the cost is always holiness over popularity, truth over comfort, obedience over applause. The prophet Elijah spoke as recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 18, verse 21. How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, follow him. His words echo still, piercing every chosen one who stands at the crossroads. Neutrality is no longer an option. To be activated is to be set apart. Chosen one. This cost often shows itself in separation. The places you once fit into now feel suffocating. The jokes you once laughed at now feel empty. The habits you once indulged in now leave a bitter taste. It is not that you are judging others, it is that heaven has shifted your appetite. You are not wired for compromise anymore. You are being trained for consecration. Sometimes the cost is relationships. People you love may not understand the path you are on. Some may mock. Others may distance themselves. And still others may actively resist your change. This pain cuts deep, because your heart longs for connection. But know this, your obedience is not rejection of them, it is allegiance to God. And in time, your example may become the very seed that awakens them. Other times the cost is within yourself. You feel the tug of war between what your flesh desires and what your spirit demands. The easy path tempts you, but the narrow path calls you. And every time you choose the narrow, every time you say no to what would dim your light, you are proving heaven's investment in you. Chosen one. Obedience will make you misunderstood. Do not be surprised if others label you too serious or too radical. They do not see what you see. They do not hear what you hear. They have not felt the fire that burns in your bones. You are not called to blend, you are called to stand. And standing always looks strange to those who are sitting. This cost may also come in opportunities. Doors will open that seem attractive, but do not align with your calling. You will be tempted to compromise for influence, to settle for half-truths in exchange for recognition. But chosen vessels cannot afford such bargains. To say yes to every door is to lose the integrity of your mission. Better to walk through one divine door than to chase 10 counterfeit ones. Understand this clearly. Obedience is not loss. It is investment. Every sacrifice you make is a seed that heaven multiplies. When Abraham left his homeland, it looked like loss, but it birthed nations. When Moses left Egypt's palace, it looked like loss, but it delivered Israel. When Jesus carried the cross, it looked like loss, but it secured eternity. Your obedience follows the same pattern: temporary cost, eternal harvest. And yet, the cost is not only about what you give up, it is also about what you gain. Obedience opens clarity. It strengthens discernment. It deepens intimacy with God. The more you say yes, the more your spirit aligns, and the more heaven trusts you with revelation. Your sacrifice builds capacity for glory. Chosen one. This path will stretch you. There will be days when you feel weary of saying no, when you long for the ease of compromise. But remember, compromise always costs more in the end. It steals destiny quietly, one small decision at a time. Obedience may be heavy, but compromise is fatal. Better to carry a cross that leads to life than to carry comfort that leads to emptiness. You may ask, is it worth it? And heaven answers with the lives you will touch, the chains you will break, the legacy you will leave. Every tear you cry in surrender becomes oil poured over your future. Every yes you whisper in pain becomes a crown placed on your head. The cost is great, but the reward is greater still. Chosen one. Settle this truth in your heart. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot walk in both compromise and calling. You are chosen, and chosen vessels always pay the price of holiness. Let your life declare, even in silence, I will follow, no matter the cost. Oh, chosen one. There comes a moment when the hidden becomes visible. The long seasons of private battles, quiet prayers, and unseen obedience suddenly give way to a moment where heaven reveals you publicly. This is not about fame or recognition. It is about manifestation. What was cultivated in secret must eventually be displayed in the open. Your activation moves from private fire to public flame. You may have felt invisible for years, walking faithfully while no one applauded, serving quietly while others were celebrated. But heaven keeps no obedience hidden forever. Just as seeds buried in soil eventually break through the surface, your hidden faithfulness is about to bloom. What others could not see was the root system growing deep. Now the season has come where roots give way to fruit, and your life becomes undeniable evidence of divine planting. The ancient words recorded in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 8, verse 17. For there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open. This is not a threat, it is a promise. The investment of heaven in you will not remain invisible. The authority, the anointing, the courage you carry must be revealed for the sake of others. Chosen one. This public moment can be overwhelming. Suddenly, eyes are on you. People notice your words, your presence, your choices. Some will be drawn to you. Others may resist you, but all will be unable to ignore you. This is what happens when heaven places a lamp on a stand. It cannot be hidden anymore. Understand that this unveiling is not about you seeking a stage. It is about you becoming one. Your life itself is the platform. Your endurance, your resilience, your obedience, they preach louder than any microphone ever could. The way you walked through storms becomes the sermon. The scars you carry become the testimony, but stepping into visibility comes with responsibility. Just as a lighthouse must be maintained so its beam reaches far into the night, so too must you tend your spirit so your light remains clear. A neglected lamp flickers, a tended lamp shines. This is why your inner life matters even more once you are seen. Public fire must be sustained by private oil. And here, I must speak sincerely. If this message has been water to your soul, if these words have reminded you of who you are when the world tried to make you forget, then I ask you to help keep this well flowing. When you like or share, you are extending the reach of this light to another soul who desperately needs it. When you subscribe, you join hands with a family of chosen ones walking the same path. And if you feel led to donate, I know that your gift becomes the oil that keeps the lamp burning. Imagine a traveler lost in the wilderness, stumbling through the dark. When suddenly they see a fire ahead, that fire becomes hope, direction, and life. For many, this message is that fire, and you, chosen one, can help keep the fire alive not only for yourself, but for countless others who have yet to arrive. Every small act matters. A like is a spark. A share is a torch passed forward. A subscription is a log added to the fire. A donation is oil poured generously, ensuring the flame burns long into the night. None of these actions are empty. They are each part of sustaining the beacon that draws others home. And do not forget your own voice. Comment your reflections, your agreement, your testimony. When you do, you are not just interacting, you are adding your flame to the circle. Someone scrolling may read your words and realize they are not alone. Your comment can become the bridge that carries hope to another soul. Chosen one. Your public unveiling will not always be comfortable. Light draws attention, and attention brings both celebration and criticism. Some will honor your calling. Others will misunderstand it. But remember, you were not chosen to please the crowd. You were chosen to serve heaven. And heaven's applause outweighs every human opinion. Think of a city on a hill. It cannot hide. Its lights shine for miles, guiding weary travelers. You are that city now. Your story, your resilience, your authority, all of it is a beacon in the night. And no amount of opposition can dim what heaven has lit. Chosen one. Your time of obscurity is giving way to a season of visibility. Step into it with humility. tend your oil with diligence, and let your light reach as far as heaven intends. For when you shine, others see the way forward. Chosen one. Every journey of activation must eventually narrow into clarity. The fire has refined you. Provision has sustained you. Authority has been entrusted to you. And now the mantle rests upon your shoulders. This is the moment when your mission is no longer vague desire, but sharpened assignment. You know why you were chosen. You know what you carry. You know who you must become. The ancient words in the book of Esther, chapter 4, verse 14. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. These words were spoken to a queen facing danger, yet they echo through eternity to every chosen one who awakens to their moment. You are here not by accident, but by appointment. This exact time, this exact place, this exact season, it is yours by design. Chosen one. The mantle is not just a symbol, it is a weight. When Elijah's cloak fell upon Elisha, it was not fabric alone that touched him. It was responsibility, legacy, and divine assignment. In the same way, your mantle carries the authority of those who walked before you and the urgency of those who will come after you. It ties you to history and stretches you into destiny. With this mantle comes clarity. You begin to see your enemies more distinctly. Not every obstacle in your life is random. Some are targeted because of the calling you carry. Resistance is rarely about your past. It is about your future. The stronger the opposition, the clearer the mission. Darkness would not waste energy resisting you if your purpose were not dangerous. You will also begin to recognize your allies. Some may surprise you, ordinary people who carry extraordinary keys to unlock your next steps. They may not have titles or platforms, but they carry encouragement, wisdom, or provision that perfectly aligns with your assignment. Heaven often hides help in unexpected places, teaching you to discern the treasure in others. Chosen one. Your mission is not generic. It may be to speak words that set captives free, to build systems that protect the vulnerable, to create works of beauty that shift culture, or to stand as an intercessor who quietly moves nations through prayer. Whatever your mantle, it will fit the shape of your soul. You were designed for it long before you recognized it. Do not fear the scope of it. A mantle may feel too heavy at first, but that is because you are still growing into it. Just as a child grows into clothing meant for their future, you will grow into the authority of your mission. Every step of obedience stretches you closer to the full fit. The mission will demand courage. There will be moments when fear whispers louder than faith, when the cost feels unbearable, when the temptation to retreat grows strong. But remember, your mantle was not given because you were fearless. It was given so you would learn to be faithful. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move anyway. Chosen one. This mantle also ties you to legacy. What you do with your mission will ripple into generations. The prayers you pray, the choices you make, the truths you speak, they become foundations others will build upon. Your yes is not just about you. It is about those who will come after you. Those who will find their path clearer because you carried your mantle with integrity. This is why compromise is so dangerous at this stage. To betray your mantle is to betray the generations tied to it. But to honor it is to release blessings far beyond your own lifetime. The mantle you carry is more than opportunity. It is stewardship. Heaven trusted you with this piece of eternity. Chosen one. Pause and let this truth settle. You are not wandering. You are not guessing. You are not stumbling aimlessly. Your mantle has clarified your mission, and your mission is sharpening your steps. The path may be narrow, but it is certain. The weight may be heavy, but it is holy. Look at how far you have come, from awakening to resistance, from provision to testing. Every season has been shaping you for this clarity. And now, you stand at the threshold of purpose, fully revealed. Your mantle rests firmly on your shoulders. Your mission burns clearly in your spirit. The question is no longer, if you are chosen, it is how you will carry what you now know. Chosen one. Let your heart resolve this. You will carry the mantle with courage, with purity, with unwavering obedience. You will not shrink back. You will not dilute the mission. You will step forward for such a time as this. Chosen one. The seasons of hidden preparation and gradual unveiling have led you here into a new beginning. You are not the same person who once wandered in confusion, weighed down by questions and uncertainty. The journey of awakening has refined you, stripped you, filled you, and crowned you. Now, the new season opens before you like a vast horizon. This is not the ending of your story. It is the unfolding of your destiny. The ancient words written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1, Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. This is the anthem of your new season. You are not waiting for permission to shine. You have already been lit by heaven's flame. The time for hesitation has passed. The time for arising has come. Chosen one. This new season is marked not only by clarity, but by authority. You no longer question whether you are called. You walk as one who knows. You no longer wonder whether you are equipped. You carry proof in every scar, every testimony, every battle you survived. Authority is not an abstract idea. It is a mantle you wear with confidence. This season will call you to lead others. Some will be drawn to your light because they recognize in you the hope they have been searching for. Others will resist because your presence exposes their shadows. But whether they come with open arms or clenched fists, your mission remains steady, to be a living demonstration of heaven on earth. Chosen one. Leadership does not mean domination. It means stewardship. You will be entrusted with lives, hearts, and destinies connected to your obedience. Like a shepherd guiding sheep, you will lead with both strength and tenderness. Like a torchbearer in the night, you will carry the flame high enough for others to find their way. And yet, do not forget, every new season carries new strategies. What worked in the last chapter may not work in this one. The manna that fed you yesterday may not fall today. God will supply in fresh ways because He desires you to remain dependent on Him. Stay attentive. Stay flexible. Stay aligned. The enemies of this season will also differ. They may not look like the battles you once fought. Instead of obvious attacks, you may face subtle distractions. Instead of open resistance, you may encounter quiet temptations to drift, to settle, to grow comfortable. Be watchful. Chosen one. Sometimes the most dangerous enemy is not the storm, but the lull after the storm. But take courage. This season is not only about warfare. It is also about harvest. Seeds you planted long ago. Prayers, whispered through tears. Acts of faith no one else saw. These are now breaking through the soil. You will see fruit, not because you are perfect, but because God is faithful. Your labor has not been in vain. Chosen one, allow yourself to dream again. For too long, your energy was spent on survival. Now, you are called to vision. Lift your eyes beyond the immediate and see the wide field of possibility before you. This is not indulgence, it is obedience. God did not bring you this far to keep you small. He brought you here so your life would become a stage for His glory. Remember, too, that this season is not solitary. You are part of a greater movement, a chorus of chosen ones rising across the earth. You are not carrying this flame alone. Others are being activated, refined, and unveiled just as you are. Together, you form a constellation of light, a network of hope spanning the world. Your obedience strengthens theirs, and theirs strengthens you. Chosen one, do not despise small steps. Every great mission unfolds step by step, choice by choice, day by day. Your calling is not fulfilled in one grand gesture, but in consistent obedience. Each decision to remain faithful builds momentum. Each act of courage pushes the mission forward. Each prayer whispered in faith shifts history quietly but powerfully. As you step fully into this season, hold fast to what you have learned. Remember the weight of obedience, the power of authority, the necessity of discernment, the reality of provision, the inevitability of resistance, and the clarity of your mantle. These are the anchors that will keep you steady as you walk forward. Chosen one, the horizon is wide, the mission is urgent, and the time is now. You are stepping not into uncertainty, but into promise. You are walking not in fear, but in fire. You are carrying not your own strength, but heaven's. The new season has begun, and you are ready. Chosen one. The journey has come full circle, from awakening to resistance, from refining fire to authority, from mantle to mission. You have walked faithfully through every stage. Now you stand at the threshold of an unshakable truth. You are chosen, and nothing can undo that. What has been activated in your spirit cannot be reversed. You are marked for impact, destined for glory, and prepared for such a time as this. But remember this, the journey does not end here. Every seed planted must be watered. Every flame kindled must be sustained. That is why I speak to you from the heart. Help keep this fire alive. When you like this message, you are adding a spark that makes the flame visible to others, stumbling in darkness. When you share, you become a torchbearer, carrying light further than I alone ever could. When you subscribe, you choose to walk in consistent alignment with reminders that will keep your spirit strong. And if you feel led to donate, know that your gift is not merely support. It is oil poured into a lamp, ensuring that this beacon of truth continues to burn brightly for many who are still waiting for their awakening. Do not underestimate even the smallest action. A comment from you may be the very word that reassures another chosen one they are not alone. A share may reach someone who is silently on the brink of surrender. A seed sown in giving becomes bread for countless souls tomorrow. Chosen one, this is your moment. Rise, shine, and carry the fire forward. Let us build together a constellation of light that cannot be hidden. The world needs your flame.